Welcome to this Biscuit Boys special on srbradio.com with me, the Gabby Cabby, and a little legend, a little lad that I copped hold of on Twitter. We've never met before. Jonjo Herman is his name. He's done fantastic things. He's continuing to do wonderful things, and I'm going to find out all about why he's doing these balmy things. 800 mile on a bike. Kid, I wouldn't do that in a car. Jonjo, welcome to Birmingham, young man.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm really good, thanks.
How's the legs? How's the backside? How's the wrist? How's the body in general? Firstly, because you've done almost something like, I'm guessing, 400 mile. That's an awful lot on a bike, and a little bit of walking as well.
Basically, I have been doing about 400 miles on a bike for the Bobby Moore Fund. Yeah, my legs are hurting, everything's hurting. I've put on loads of Vaseline, had loads of gel.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all helped out, so.
Where did you get the idea for this one? Because we're going to talk about this challenge first, and then we're going to talk in more length about some of your others, because I know that you've climbed Snowdon. I know that you've done loads of really balmy things, and that, for a 12-year-old, is unbelievable. Because, you know, when I was 12, I used to roll my socks up when it got dark, and I thought that I was Trevor Francis. I wouldn't think about doing stuff like that.
Well, basically, I thought about this challenge when I was watching the Tour de France on telly, and I don't know why, but I was just thinking about football. And he was like, you know what, let's do a Premier League club cycle.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, here we are today.
How much preparation and training has it taken for you to do? Because say we're going to run a marathon, Jonjo. If I say to you tomorrow, we're going to run the Birmingham Marathon. Well, we can't because there ain't one. But if we were, we need to do a lot of preparation. We need to go out on the road. We need to get all them miles in so we can let them all out on the big day. So I'm guessing you've been getting on your bike, going all around London and cycling all over the place.
Yeah, I've also been training at home, doing static bikes, and I've been doing like 20-mile stints on static bikes.
That is phenomenal. And it's good that it's static, because say if you're going out on a 20 mile, you've got to come back. On a static, all you need to do is either go to bed when you're finished or go down and have your tea. Where did you start? I know your home is in Essex. It's in London. You're a big West Ham fan. We're going to talk about that. But it was Newcastle, the first point of your... How many legs are you doing, do you know?
Well, so far I've cycled from Newcastle to Sunderland to Liverpool to Everton to Burnley and Hull, West Brom and Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And I've also had people doing clubs like Southampton as well.
Are you doing Southampton as well?
No, like because I have to do it in such a short period of time, I've had people been doing some of the clubs as well. Got ya.
Now, the football clubs that you've gone to, do you actually get to say Hull City and Steve Bruce, you go, Jonjo, how are you going, son? And then, like, you go to Villa Park and, well, you might get a game, to be fair, if you go to Villa Park.
Well, when I've been going to the stadiums, I haven't met any of those people, but I've met some nice people that have actually let me inside the stadium to have some good photos.
Oh, okay. So what's been the best stadium that you've been to so far? Now, you can't go to St Andrews because we're in the Championship. Don't start taking a mickey out of me because I know you're a big West Ham fan, okay? Did they let you into Villa and the Albion, the two other smaller clubs in the West Midlands?
No, they didn't let me in them ones, but my favourite was probably, although I didn't go inside there, my favourite was probably Old Trafford because there's a lot of history there and Man United's a really good club.
One of the biggest, probably the biggest in the world, aren't they? But as a West Ham United fan, you shouldn't really be saying that about Man United. Because I remember David Beckham, when he kind of like, you know, he's a West Ham kind of like Leyton Orient, that type of East End, when he went and played for Man United. I don't think he was very popular in London. They don't like them Mancs, do they, in London? No. Mind you, there's a lot of Manchester United fans in London, isn't there?
Yeah, I've actually, I think I've got a cousin who supports Man United.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my granddad too.
Okay. Now, all of the challenges that you've done, and we've got to get your website in, and like me being the consummate professional, I ain't even looking at nothing. We've just got some bullet points that we're going to go through there. Morethanachallenge.com. How impressed are you with that?
I'm very impressed by that, and I made that website up so people can see like what I've done so far in this challenge. Latest photos, news, videos, and sometimes vlogs.
Now we're going to be focusing on the Birmingham leg. You had a Matty hug today. That big guy, Bowater, copped hold of you, copped hold of the goose, copped hold of the Stig, and give him the biggest Matty hug he's ever given in his life. How fantastic were the Help Harry, Help Other cyclists with you today?
They were good. They said that they're going to do the 4 mile, which is basically the distance from West Brom to Aston Villa.
Yep.
4 mile to me seemed like 4 minutes because it just went that quick.
Yeah. I must admit, I've been asked to go on a bike, and I ain't very good. I'm a bit old now and I can't do it. I've done about 1.5 miles round Lanzarote, and it almost killed me for the rest of the holiday. So when I see some of these bike challenges, I tend to bottle it a little bit. But there was about 8 or 10 of them that turned out for you. They do fantastic things, raising money for cancer charities. Little birdie tells me you so far have done about £200,000.
Yep, that is true.
Yeah. And inspired by one of the greatest British footballers of all time, Sir Robert Frederick Chelsea Moore. Right? West Ham player with Chelsea in his name. And your nan.
Yep. They're really nice people. I haven't got to meet Bobby Moore, but I knew that he was a nice person and that he was a really good footballer.
Oh, one of the best, mate. He's the only one that's ever held the World Cup. Well, captain of West Ham. Fantastic. I'm going to have a quick word with the goose in a minute, right? I'm loving your chain.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That was given to me.
So, go on.
That was given to me by someone that wanted to come, but she couldn't. So she told me to wear this.
You ain't got a chick, have you, on board?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it was. He's blushing. Right, I'm going to have a word with your mum. Donna.
Batman.
Exactly. How are you? How's this young man? I mean, he's a bundle of joy, a bundle of energy. He must be on. I mean, blimey, the kid don't stop.
He's I've got a few more grey hairs.
Yeah.
And it's tiring, but it's very inspirational, very rewarding, and sometimes very surreal. Some of the things that he does. So yeah, proud.
Now, when he says to you, Mum, I've just watched the Tour de France, right, and I like football, and we are, because it's always a we thing, isn't it? My missus is Catholic, and she's giving things up for Lent, so we're going to give up wine for Lent. Where does this we come into it? I'm not Catholic. I'm not particularly a believer. Yeah. So where does this we come in from? Now with Jonjo, when Jonjo gets this idea, it's a we, because he can't do it on his own.
Definitely. Yeah.
How come you got the gig and not the old man?
Oh, the old man's he's got commitments back at home.
Oh, okay.
But he will be doing the walk with him for the next. Well, when he gets back to London, he'll be doing a 5-day walk.
Yeah.
So, but I think people often say to us, "Oh, do you do it with him?" And I don't think you can expect a 12, 13-year-old to trundle off across the country. So yes, we do it with him. We're very lucky to have good friends. You'll meet or speak to one in a minute. We call her the Stig. That support as well. So he can't do it on his own. There is a lot of support, and there's been a lot of support for this challenge as well.
And that's it, because behind every person that has the idea, there's a team that helps that person make that idea and that dream come true. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about the legs. We've done the football side. I've seen your blood boiling a bit with Man United, but there you go, kid, that's just the way it is.
I'll beat him for that later.
Now, some of the journeys that you've been on, I'm guessing that this country, England, It's quite hilly.
It's beautiful, but I don't
It
like
is very,
hills.
yeah.
I've seriously gone off hills, yeah.
How many hills did you encounter, especially up the north of England and round them North Yorkshire moors? They tend to be quite hilly.
I mean, he walked from Newcastle to Sunderland, which was lovely.
Yeah.
And then, a bit naive of us, we thought it would be okay. There might be sort of a flattish route around the North York moors, but no, there's no way to get around it. You've got to go over it.
Yeah.
And I have to say, on the first day, he was going home. Because every hill he went up, there was another hill. There was no downside. He was going up and up and up. It's hard to see because he's only little. And, the determination kicked in quite a few times. Her mum was going to call time. So and it was hills. We don't like hills at all.
I must admit, I don't like heights, and I have drove over those North Yorkshire moors, and they're quite scary.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on now to the Stig. Oh, blimey, I tell you, what you say? I've just dropped something there of yours. Stig, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Now let's have
Yourself?
your real name as well.
Oh, Carly, yes.
Carly. Oh, blimey, hi, Carly. How difficult is it driving behind this kid? Because I'm guessing he's not doing 50, 60 mile an hour.
No,
you have to keep to a certain speed, don't you?
Average 10 miles an hour, so
Yeah.
we don't necessarily get out of second gear.
Mm-hmm.
So I've probably driven, 400 miles in second gear.
How difficult is that?
It takes a lot of concentration. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to take away from Jonjo at all
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's physically, cycling those 400 miles.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, you've got to maintain your distance, you've got to maintain your speed, you've got to pay attention to which way they're turning,
Yep.
what way are they going, are we on track, how many miles have we got to go. Yeah, there's just, I feel mentally drained more than anything, yeah.
What are other motorists like while you're doing this route?
Oh, yeah. A few hairy moments, few sort of, cutting in unnecessarily,
Mhm.
few toots of, enthusiasm, even pulling over and giving us money as we're going along,
Yep.
But, there's been a few toots of frustration, shall we say, rather than encouragement. But you sort of, like, wipe that off and just think, oh, this kid's doing way more than you ever could. What the hell are you, getting all vocal about it for, he's better doing something more than you. Probably you're going to get your shopping in Sainsbury's. He's cycling 400 miles. So, crack on with your day.
Have you had police escorts while you've been driving around?
We have. I cannot big up to the police support, the Federation. They have absolutely been fantastic. They've given us bikes. They even put a helicopter out one night, morning, to give him a good send off.
Yeah.
That was at Goodison Park. Sorry.
Mind you, to be fair, in Liverpool, they've always got that bloody police
Yeah,
escort.
yeah.
They haven't, no.
Yeah, but they have been absolutely fantastic, and it gives us that extra sort of safety factor.
And I'll tell you something as well. Driving around Liverpool at 20 mile an hour, that can take the wheels off at like 20 mile an hour,
Yeah. But I wouldn't have done it for anybody else. He's an absolute gem, and he's got my support whenever he needs it. So I wouldn't have. 10 days away from home, no questions asked. Yeah,
that's a
I'm
result,
there.
isn't it? Blimey. 10 days away from home, you need somewhere to stay. Oh, yeah, because you can't just pitch up your tent anywhere.
No.
You're staying in Birmingham at the Thistle Hotel in Birmingham, which has looked after you fantastically well.
Yes.
Have you stayed in all Thistle hotels? And can you, Donna, please give a big up before I come back to this young man about all the people that's helped you and sponsored you and made your life for these few days, well, a lot of days, 10 days, easier than what it would have been if you didn't have any help?
We put a shout out to Newcastle Thistle and asked for a night's stay as a donation, and unbeknown to us, the general manager there put a call out across the country.
Yeah.
So we've had Thistle Hotel donate across the country. We've had a couple of friends donate stays in between. We've had a van donated, the bike, a gift of another bike. We've had clothing, everything you can imagine. Everything, like when we worked at AIM monetary terms, if we had to put this on for him, it would have cost in the region of £5,000 in monetary terms. And that's purely good-hearted people that a lot of them have been affected. People like Carly, she didn't say it just now, but she lost her brother.
Oh dear.
So who just want to make I kick it into touch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right, young man, get back on that chair because I've got some questions to ask you. Okay, right. So where did your love of West Ham United come from?
Well, it came from my dad, and probably if I supported any other team, he would be pretty angry. He would not let me support any other team than West Ham. But I couldn't ask for a better team to support, though.
I know where you're coming from because my oldest lad now is 28, and when he was 5 and he started going to school, a lot of his mates were Villa supporters, and he come home and he says, I want to support the Villa, Dad. Now I just thought, ignore it and it'll go away, but it didn't, and he come back from his nan's and said, Dad, if you won't buy me a Villa kit for Christmas, me nan will. Right, so I threw him in the chair and I said, look, I'm only going to tell you this once. I haven't got a problem if you want to support Aston Villa, but you're going to have to go and live with your nan and granddad because I'll put you up for adoption. So I know where your old man's coming from. West Ham United, wonderful football club, great owners, David Gold and David Sullivan. How fantastic have they been to you and supporting in not just this event that you've done, but previous events?
David Sullivan's been very kind, and he has actually given donations. David Gold's been very nice to me, and altogether the club by itself has really helped me.
Yeah, which is fantastic for you. And do you play football as well?
I used to play Sunday league football, but I don't anymore because my charity work has gone.
What position did you play?
I can play striker or in goal.
Okay, right. That's a bit of a difference, isn't it? Where do you prefer?
If I want to score goals, I go up front. But I also do like to dive around and try.
Okay. Bit of ducking and diving.
Yeah.
Typical Cockney, ain't ya?
Yeah.
Talking about another Cockney and a film. A little birdie tells me that you were in a film. In fact, I watched you in a film, The Governors, and you had a great part. Tell me about it and tell me who got you into the part.
It is a really good part, and it's quite an important part too. Cass Pennant got me into it, and I really enjoyed just playing the part generally.
Talk me through that part. How difficult was it? Because you were playing a kid outside the school, you know, the perimeter fence, that had a bit of a shoe-in, didn't you? To be quite truthful.
Yeah, basically, my character was bullied.
Yeah.
And it was a bit difficult for me because I was going through a tough time at school where I was getting bullied.
Yeah.
And it was quite a hard thing to do.
You stand up to them bullies?
I will.
When one smacks you get in there first and give them a smack as well. Eh? If you're going to hit them with something, make sure they get down and don't get up, and if they get up, you can run. So you're a budding actor as well as. Now, your school must be very good to you, because I know it's been half term, but most young uns are back. My daughter's back, but you ain't. You've got an extra bit of time off.
Yeah, my school's very supportive of me.
Yeah.
And as you said, everyone will be going back to school tomorrow, but I'm not. They've given me another week off, so I can finish this challenge off, which is really nice of them.
Now, let's go back to your first challenge. Tell me about it, and tell me about how many challenges that you've got. And I also want to know about this shirt that you have with the names on and your Book of Angels. And I want to know where you're finishing. I'm assuming that it's going to be in London, somewhere around by Upton Park.
100% actually.
There's a shock.
My first challenge was actually pretty difficult because I was quite young.
How old?
I was about 9. And it was quite difficult because I didn't train for it. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't have a lot of support back then.
What was it?
It was a 23-mile walk, and at the time it was very difficult, but now I'm doing extreme ones, and I actually got physically sick because I was tired, and ever since, I've been training for every single one, and it's took off. So
that was your first one. What other ones have you done?
The big ones I've done are 66-mile walks, a 50-mile football dribble, this, and
50-mile football dribble. I ain't letting that go up without you telling me what that was all about. Left foot, right foot as well?
yeah, both. I did a football dribble from Southend to West Ham. It was alright. It was quite fun because I like to play football myself.
Yeah.
But it was quite difficult in a way because your foot was moving the whole time, and I actually hurt my ankle because I went left foot, right foot, and then got some support on it. Overall, I think that was probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
In a way, because it was hurting, but another side was that it just kept on going on the road.
So, did you have other people that was dribbling balls with you, or was you just doing this on your own?
I had a football, and then I had another one for whoever wanted to have a little bit of a dribble. That football went in the road a few times.
How much easier is it when you're doing these wonderful challenges that you're doing, when you have support, when you have people on bikes with you, when you have people going, go on Jonjo, go on Jonjo?
It's pretty much motivation.
Yeah.
To make you keep going.
Yeah.
And without the support, I wouldn't have got that far.
So, when does this challenge finish? What's the date?
The day is the 28th of February, which is a Saturday, and I'm finishing about midday.
And where are you going to finish? In Green Street?
Yep, I'm going to be finishing at the Bobby Moore statue, which is on Green Street.
What happens then?
I have a special ceremony for for the people that are on my shirt, which are the people that have died from cancer. And I also have an angel book, which is the same, but it's the names that didn't make it onto the shirt will get into a book.
Yeah.
And those names will be read out and presented to everyone that attends. And it's a very special ceremony for people that have been affected by cancer or have someone that lost their life.
How long does that ceremony take?
Probably about half an hour-ish.
Yeah.
Because it is quite long, because we've had loads of names over the past few years.
Will there be any current West Ham United players that are going to be involved on that day, or any of these, these celebrities? Because I'll tell you something now. The way that things are, there's certain celebrities, Zoo-led celebrities, that would go to the opening of an envelope if there's something in it for them. But I'm guessing with this, because you're a kid that does things out of the kindness of your heart, because you care. So, some of these London celebs, like The Only Way is Essex and them, like, they're going to be out there supporting you?
No,
I didn't think so.
There's none of the footballers, not that I'm aware of, are attending in the ceremony.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy with everyone that turns up anyway.
Be awfully nice if West Ham United's football team come and support us, wouldn't it?
They've got a game to play.
It would be ever so nice if West Ham United Football Club come and do it. I'm going to go and chat to your mum now about the media and all the coverage that you've had. Donna, the media, the coverage, you've been in, was it the Newcastle Chronicle that I noticed?
There's Newcastle Chronicle, there's a Manchester one, somewhere in I think Liverpool Echo.
Yep.
There's been like local regional papers have been involved in it. We did send an email to ITV after having a conversation with them, so we're hoping they'll cover the end.
Yes.
In the London bit, because he's been on TV before on London Tonight and what have you, so they've obviously got a track there. So they may well come to the ceremony at the end. He didn't tell you just then that Bobby Moore's widow is actually coming to the ceremony as well.
Oh, okay.
She finds it very difficult, but she'll be there to support him at the statue. So
yeah. And I've got a poem that you're more than entitled to. If you want that, you can raise anything with your awareness or your website, anything that you need. Definitely from my end, just have it. 'Cause I think
awesome.
it's wonderful, wonderful what you're doing. So as yet, we haven't got any media, really, the big boys and girls that have come to the table. Now, I'm guessing if Jonjo would have impregnated one of his classmates, you'd have been all over the Sun, the Mirror, the Star, the News of the World.
By the time he was 14,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's hard because, I mean, as a parent, I mean, I always say that kids should be encouraged and not discouraged if they're trying to do good, you know. So, and I think it's a shame that some haven't latched onto what is a really lovely story. I'm not just saying it because it's my son, but it's a really lovely story.
Yeah.
And I think people are missing out on it.
Yeah.
And not only that, putting the story out there raises awareness. We know that putting the story out there raises awareness. We've had people come to Jonjo and say, I read your story, I had symptoms, I got myself checked, I have it, or I've got myself checked and I don't, you know. So not only just raising money, but the awareness is crucial as well. So.
As I say, it's a sad, I guess, indictment on our society in this country that when it's bad news, they're over it like a rash, but when it is good news, they tend to not really bother. And if it's a midweek, you may get a bit. But if it's a weekend, well, it's, you know, it's not 9 to 5, and they're all on holiday and they putting their feet up and doing stuff. Talking of putting your feet up, tell me what time you start on the morning, and tell me what time you finish, and you can put your feet up. And I bet you've had more baths these last few days and put the old Radox for all your muscles and have your rub downs than you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, usually I start at about 10 o'clock every morning, and then we don't really time, like, we don't have to finish at a particular time.
Yeah.
We just do it.
Other hobbies that you've got, apart from breaking world records and breaking ankles and stuff, and you've got a bad wrist. Tell me about that bad wrist, mate. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
That's all right then.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I did it, but my wrist just really badly started hurting when I was on the bike. I don't know what I did to it, but
it's all vibration and stuff like that, you know. Your body, in all seriousness, don't half go through a bit of a bashing about, you know, when you're doing what you're doing. You know, it's not everyone that can do what you do. What's next for you?
I don't know. See what there is. See what comes up.
What do you fancy?
I don't know. Something bigger and better than this one.
Okay, like what? I mean, you've done 800 mile on a bike and you're walking, you know.
Probably. We haven't started properly planning it, but we're considering doing.
Can you swim?
No.
Oh, can you not?
No.
Join a club, I can't swim neither. Rules that out then, don't it?
We was talking about, because it's 50 years since you won the World Cup next year. It's speculation. We don't know if we will do it yet, but
What, win the World Cup? Got no chance, pal.
no, like I was gonna try and cycle Germany to England.
Okay.
Since we beat Germany in the World Cup, so I'll be probably cycling from the Germany National Stadium to Wembley.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Do you like cycling?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Tell me about your bike.
Well, my bike was given to me.
Talking about your bike, they nicked it, have they? Oh, you're all right.
I originally started off with a mountain bike.
Yep.
It was a good bike, but then it was a bit difficult to get up the hills in that bike.
Yep.
It was a bit tricky because it was quite harder, and then when people were going down hills in road bikes,
It's easy.
I was still pedalling. And then I've got a road bike now that someone donated to me, and that's pretty much made my life easier.
How many gears has it got?
Well, it's got 3 gears on the front and 8 on the back, so that's pretty much 24.
Blimey. Oh, so you times them, you don't just add them up?
Yeah, you times them because there's on every front gear there's 8 gears.
Oh, right, okay. See, I know absolutely nothing about cycling. The last time I really was on a bike, apart from Lanzarote, was when you used to have choppers in the old days. Do you remember them, Mum? Choppers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and everyone had a chopper when we were kids. Yeah, brilliant. But these bikes are colossal, aren't they? So do you like music or anything like that?
Yeah, I like music.
Are you into?
pretty much modern. I sometimes do like, I listen to a lot of reggae and ska, West Ham, occasionally.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So at least he's not going to be going swimming, Mum.
No.
That rules out the English Channel.
When people mention like Kilimanjaro and stuff, I sort of get the gaffer tape out and shut them up because I don't want to go up no Kilimanjaro or nothing like that.
Do you think he might do something like that, Kilimanjaro? Does he like heights?
No, he doesn't really like heights, to be honest.
I wouldn't go up there then.
But always working up something else. So, you know, like, you can't do the same challenge
Yeah.
over and over again. You probably can't think up something different and coming up with football-type challenges. I think the Germany to England one is good. There's a lot of fans across Europe that would join in on that and support him. But, yeah, it's...
Does he ever think about doing something like Tiddlywink Challenge or Dominoes or something that you don't have to
That'd
put
be lovely.
that
No,
much effort in?
He doesn't. No,
You know?
no, he doesn't. He, no, I mean the tamest one that he's got coming up is a carp fishing tournament that he's got going, and that's quite relaxing. But normally they're extreme challenges. You know, he does it every year around February. And lots of people say to us, "Why are you doing it in February?" His grandma died in February on the 17th, and he was cycling for her last week. When he officially starts his walk on Tuesday, it's Bobby's anniversary. So that's why he always does it in February. So he's always up against the elements anyhow. But everything he does is not easy.
Yeah. And the Twitter feeds. Am I right when I say Jonjo Herman? Is that how you pronounce your name?
It's Hoyerman or Hewerman, we call it, but
That's
it's a bit
rather
like
posh,
Tag.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like Tag Heuer the watch. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, it's Hewerman or Hoyerman. Yeah.
And then on Facebook.
On Facebook, he's Jonjo Hewerman as well. His Facebook's about to crash because he's only got a few more followers or friends that he can add on there.
Yeah,
so
that's
we're
the problem with
yeah.
Facebook, isn't it?
So we need to transfer it over to a like page. But Twitter, yeah, it's Jonjo Hewerman as well.
Right, I'm going to have a word with him about fishing. Right. Young man, tell me about the fishing then. What's going on there? Carp fishing.
I enjoy carp fishing a lot. I got into it last year with a group called Oily Carping, and I liked it so much that I wanted to do a charity carp off, which is basically going to be like a 2-day event, which is like a weekend fishing to basically just have fun and see how many fish you can catch.
So, will people be like sponsoring you per fish? Or are you going to have a big tournament and whoever gets the most fish wins?
It's basically a tournament.
Yeah. Okay. Where's that going to be? London way.
It is, yeah, it's around London. Is it Crow's Heath? Yeah, it's Crow's Heath.
All right. Mind you, you better make sure you don't fall in that bloody pond, mate. And I tell you what, them carp, they half get big.
Yeah.
Right? Mind you, knowing you'd probably be wanting to go and catch piranhas. Right, monster. So your highlight and your low light so far of this 800-mile trip?
Well, the highlight's probably going to all the stadiums because I've always wanted to go to all the Premier League stadiums. But probably the bad part was the weather. We've had some pretty tough weather lately.
You do in February?
Yeah, like today. We had wind, rain, sleet, ice.
You have everything in Great Britain in February. And I'm forever blowing bubbles. Not as good as Keep Right On to the End of the Road, is it? Right? You want to sing it?
I can't see.
Hey, the Stig's a bit of a West Ham fan as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. Come on, let's have a... So, West Ham United. Last time that you come to Birmingham, cost you a fortune. Then again, back to London.
It did cost me a fortune. Yeah, last time I came to Birmingham was in the Cup a couple of years ago, when you knocked us out. Was a sad, deflated West Ham fan. We got kept behind by West Midlands Police for our own safety.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately missed my connecting train back to London. And I happened to contact a cab company, and lucky enough we found an LPG run a cab.
Oh, right, okay.
We did a bit of bartering, as us Cockneys would do.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that,
yeah. And we managed to get a cab back to London for 25 quid each.
Blimey.
all the way down like the M6, back to London, dropped us off at Oxford Circus, and then we had to get a black cabbie back to Essex. I got back into my bed about 3:30 in the morning, but not a very happy West Ham
And
fan.
if you'd have won, you'd have been all right about it, wouldn't you? Yeah.
And here I am 3 years later,
Yeah.
back in Birmingham, but under better circumstances.
Yeah, at least you ain't going to lose here,
yeah,
are you?
yeah, no.
Right then, Sunshine, is there anything else you want to tell the Gabster before
Yeah, if you
we hook off?
if you want to donate to
I just have. Oh, you mean other people? Yeah, go on. Tell me about it.
If you want to donate to the charity,
Mm-hmm.
the website is www.justgiving.com/Fernando Bobby, and thank you for listening.
Hey, you're a professional, you are. And you've got some badges to flog when you get back to London, ain't you?
Yeah.
Jonjo, Herman, and I'm just going to call you Herman, because we're a bit common like that in Birmingham. And to be fair, with long words, I really struggle with long words. Have a great and safe journey all the way back to London. You're an inspiration. Don't forget, you're an absolute legend, kid. And if anybody gives you any negative publicity, take no notice. Focus on the great things, because there ain't many kids of your age that do wonderful things that you do for other people. Keep right on to the end of the road. Keep right on to the end. Good night. Thanks for listening. Ta-ra!